morning, blog reading cuties. I recently heard someone say a lot of people die, they go to the end of their life with their music still inside of them. And this really resonated with me. I feel like every single soul on earth is here for a reason, and we all have something that we need to do. And I think that a lot of us get sidetracked by just surviving and that type of thing, and we never really get to do what it is that we're supposed to be doing, that we feel that we really have a passion to do. And that's why I'm always so impressed by people who are able to go for what they really want to do and live the life that they really want to be living. So I recently went and spoke with someone who did just that. His name is Christian Valeriani. He went from the corporate world to a job he wasn't happy in to start his own yoga studio, and he's really successful at it. He's a fantastic yoga teacher. His studio is Even Flow in Long Branch. It's a gorgeous studio. So let's hear what Christian has to say about following your passion.
I'm Christian Valeriani.
Okay, Christian. I recently heard a saying that there are a lot of people out there who die with their music still inside of them. And to me, this means these are people who have lived their lives never taking that leap to what they really want to be doing. And I know you're someone who did that. You were working in the corporate world, and you left the safety of the corporate world to start your own business, and you have been successful at it. So tell me what made you first leave the corporate world at all?
Yeah, it's a way more complicated answer than it's way more gray area than black and white. But I guess the reason I left corporate America and the white collar world is because of yoga. But the reason why I got into yoga was through another set of circumstances. So we have to go back 9.5 years to April 13th, 2002. And I got clean and sober on that date.
Wow.
Which was an amazing life event for me. 27 years old, kind of in what I would consider the height of work and fun and late 20s and whatever. And so about 6 months into my sobriety, one of my friends who I met in AA, I was talking to him about how physically I was feeling very good, not having had a drink or a drug in quite some time. But the mental piece was a little fuzzy, a little erratic. So he's a yoga practitioner, and he said, "Well, why don't you do yoga?" So with that, I went to the yoga class, and then the first time I did yoga, it was as if I had gotten catapulted back to when I was 8 years old and just carefree and just very kind of open and was able to feel, was very happy. And so when I came out of Shavasana, out of my first yoga class, I felt truly affected, and the impact was really, really deep for me. And so I started practicing yoga pretty consistently, and the more yoga I practiced, the less I wanted to work. I guess the more I realized that the line of work that I was in was not appropriate for my skill set or my intention. So therefore, as a result of the consistent yoga practice, I was able to detach from the corporate world. And yoga was getting pretty popular at that point, so I saw an opportunity, being a capitalist, I saw an opportunity to parlay my business experience and my passion for yoga into a yoga business. And so we're here. Yeah.
So, starting your own business, there had to have been a lot of setbacks. I think that what happens to a lot of people is they decide to take the leap, they decide to make the change, and they fail, and then they don't try it again. And I think that's the key. You fail, you try again, you fail, you try again, you fail, you try again, until finally you succeed. And I think that's one of the really hardest parts about taking that leap to what you really want to be doing.
Yeah.
How did you manage the setbacks? You had to have some failures along the way.
Yeah, I think we all stumble along the way. What really carried me and continues to carry me, because certainly not every day is perfect, is my faith. my life has taken so many different twists and turns. I've stumbled so hard and have overcome so much equally that I know that God hasn't brought me to this point to drop me. So what's really important to me is that I try my best. What's really important to me is that I believe in what I'm passionate about, and if I really believe in what I'm passionate about, it has no other choice but to succeed, even if there are some impediments along the way. I was raised in a very, very competitive, type A, white-collar household. So it wasn't a matter of like not failing versus succeeding. It was a matter of, if you get knocked down, you have to get back up. And that's what I've been doing. And so, because I think over the course of time, when you get back up and you learn from your mistakes, for me at least, I tend not to repeat those same mistakes. If my life was perfect, I don't think I would learn as much. I've learned way more from my mistakes than my victories. And so I like to say that the wisdom that I've accumulated over the years has really been about falling down. And that's something I don't think anyone can replace.
What other advice would you give to someone who wants to do what you did, who's, maybe afraid to make that kind of a change in their life?
It's a really broad question, because I'm not the example of really anything. I'm just the guy who just
has this amazing studio in Long Branch, Even Flow.
Yeah, it's great. I didn't even manifest this. It just happened. I came to this building per chance to meet the owner downstairs. We have some overlap in our business worlds, and he showed me around. This just kind of popped open. So maybe I did manifest it over years of teaching. But the point is, getting back to your question, which is what suggestion. I'm just a firm believer that if you're passionate about something and you're decisive, you can make it happen. I was very decisive when I left my old job and I started doing this yoga thing. I was very decisive about what I wanted, and it wasn't in the form of $100,000 a year, or notoriety, or ego, or whatever. It was, I love yoga. I don't like my job. I want to be able to teach yoga. When I look back on my life, I think I've always been considered like an old soul. I've always been kind of like this guy who's always been in kind of almost like a therapist role. Like even with my friends, they would come to me for like issues. When I was a financial consultant, and I would look over people's finances, they looked to me for advice. So I think there's a natural fit for my personality. That yoga is kind of like not only this physical asana piece where you teach sequences or whatever, but you can have a major impact with the Dharma talk,
right?
Your practice talk. When you talk about yamas and yamas, when you talk about philosophy and theory, and you can use this yoga practice as a template for your life to be able to convey that message. Was kind of like a fit for me. So that fit my skill set. I was very decisive about where I wanted to be and where I didn't want to be in my life, and so there was no major fear for me. There was no major fear for me, but I think for some people that might be difficult, and I think that my advice to anyone would be, if you know where you want to go, you're basically just wasting your time if you're not making a decision about going for it.
Absolutely.
So, because when you waste time and you think about it, the more you think about it, the more you talk yourself out of it.
Yeah.
And so, I think meditation, it really helps. So I think if there's a fearful piece to someone's decision making, meditation really helps. Somebody told me that prayer is when you talk to God, and meditation is when you listen. So if there's any vacillation about which way you want to go, I find that through meditation that always gives me the right clarity and the right decision. It always surfaces for me.
Exactly.
So whenever I get to that place of fear, like maybe I shouldn't have done this, I meditate on it and I come back to the same answer.
Right, because in meditation you find that you have all the answers you need within.
That's it.
All right, Christian, thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you.